Hey nerds, how's it going? Already blown all your money on that brand new portable Xbox? No? Heh, yeah, that's what I thought. So maybe you're thinking about upgrading your Switch 1 to the Switch 2, but you're still unsure and you need a solid review? Then go check out Beat'em-Up's review. I'm kidding again, just watch this video till the end and maybe it will actually help you make the right decision. So let's begin with the main question. Is the Switch 2 worth it? I own a few Switch models. The original Switch, the Switch OLED and now the Switch 2. I bought the latest one just a few months ago and have tested it thoroughly, so I could compile all the pros and cons into one video for you. Let's go! Ever since Nintendo announced the Switch 2, I've been excited about the new console features. But after the promotional video, there were more questions than answers. At first glance, it looked a bit underwhelming and more like a Steam Deck than a next generation Switch. Honestly, I didn't rush to buy the Switch 2 once it went on sale, especially considering there were hardly any exclusives except for Mario Kart World. So yeah, I was a little disappointed, probably just like you. I had no desire to spend money on what felt like a marketing trick. I took my time and looked into the first impressions from other players before deciding to give it a try. And that brings us here. First of all measurements in this video are subjective and don't reflect official technical metrics. I've spent a few months using the Switch 2 with different games and modes to form my opinion for this video. After that commercial, I really wasn't expecting a wow effect, quite the opposite. But to my surprise, it's not bad at all. Just a few words about the common characteristics. The Switch 2 is approximately 4.5 inches tall, 10.7 inches wide, and 0.55 inches thick with the Joy-Con controllers attached. That's a bit larger than the OLED, which comes in at 4 inches high, 9.5 inches long, and the same thickness. And as you might expect, the Switch 2 doesn't weigh much more, but 1.18 lbs with Joy-Con attached. This Switch 2 also has a bigger screen than the OLED, a 7.9-inch white color gamut LCD. It definitely looks better and gives the console a refreshed appearance. But honestly, the screen size difference isn't that dramatic while playing. My eyes got used to it in a few minutes, so I didn't notice a major change in practical use. The bigger size is nice, but it's not more important than the graphics. In this aspect, the Switch 2 really improves the experience. The colors are richer, brighter, and simply more pleasant to look at. You notice it right from the starting screen. The new graphics capabilities show themselves best in games like Donkey Kong Bonanza, which has a vivid color palette. For example, I played Sonic X Shadow Generations in TV mode at 120 FPS, and it was like, wow, unbelievable. Maybe even too fast in some places. So yes, the graphics are definitely a big advantage of the Switch 2. From this perspective, the Switch OLED falls behind. The sound system really complements the gaming experience, no doubt. Music sounds louder, more surround, and overall better quality compared to the Switch OLED. Finally, we can enjoy Zelda music the way it should sound, not like before. But what about the battery capacity? In this respect, it's not as bad either. The battery now charges a bit faster than on the Switch OLED, even if you're playing while charging. Unfortunately, the battery still lasts between 2 and 6 hours depending on the game. I hope this will improve in the next Switch version, because playing with a cable really annoys me. Using the Switch 2 outside can feel almost impossible because of that. However, the console lasts longer in standby mode, so I'm more or less satisfied with the battery. It could be worse, maybe like the heating of the Switch 2. Yes, it happens sometimes, just like with any other console. And maybe the Switch 2 even heats up more than the OLED. At least Nintendo didn't officially announce this feature. They emphasized another thing: the new Joy-Con connection. I was skeptical about this feature and wondered if it was solid at all. In reality, the process is almost identical to before, except that the mechanism is much easier and more pleasant to use. Now you don't need to apply any force, just a simple movement. With the Switch OLED, you needed to push a little to connect the Joy-Cons. There is no difference in use, except for the new mouse mode. At first, I honestly couldn't imagine where this function could be useful, but then I remembered all those non-optimized optimized games where you have to move a fake mouse, and it always drove me crazy. That's where the mouse mode becomes useful. Your Joy-Con basically turns into a mouse. This feature is definitely a big advantage of the Switch 2. As for the Joy-Con style, it's very straightforward. Black with the familiar blue and red thumb grips. Also, in my opinion, Nintendo could have added a more ergonomic shape for maximum comfort. My hands always get tired after a few hours of playing because of the current design. But I really want to thank Nintendo for the updated game card slot. Now you don't need to scrape your nail along the top just to open it like before. I hated changing game cards. Seriously. Unfortunately, the other Switch 2 design doesn't impress as much as the card slot update. The console is completely black, without any special details. It looks pretty boring, honestly, especially compared to the classic Nintendo colors. Cool accessories could fix this, but there aren't many of them yet. The same can be said about the exclusive game diversity. When I bought the bundle with Mario Kart World, it was the only available game. So at least I didn't have to struggle choosing something new. Since then, Nintendo has released a few more titles: Donkey Kong Bonanza, Kirby Air Riders, Hyrule Warriors, Edge of Imprisonment, and so on. Nintendo also released upgrade packs for some games to enhance performance and visuals. And yes, they paid unless you have a Nintendo Switch Online subscription. As for non-exclusive games, there are more options: Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, Yakuza Kiwami 2, and others. And honestly, seeing a game like Cyberpunk 2077 running on the Switch 2 is a real demonstration of the console's performance. From my perspective, Nintendo rushed to launch the Switch 2 and forgot about some important details, like the games. I know it's business and blah blah blah, but games are the cornerstone of any gaming platform. It doesn't matter how good a console is if there aren't enough games to play. Besides the games, the Nintendo OS supports apps like YouTube and stuff, though right now YouTube isn't working. Pretty weird and kinda sad, just like the lack of a proper web browser. At least now it shows me that the eShop doesn't lag as much anymore, and you can actually browse and pick games without issues. Nintendo also slightly updated the operating system by adding a game chat, new songs, and new icon styles. To be honest, I was expecting something more, not just light and dark modes. For example, a personalized theme maybe with Mario or Zelda, but we have what we have. I've covered everything I really wanted to touch on, the stuff I think is important. And I didn't bog your brain down with the gadgets, measurements, real FPSs, or running around with thermometers checking heat and all that. So did I answer the question? Is the Nintendo Switch 2 worth the money? For me, the answer is obvious, absolutely. It's a solid step forward and an improvement over the first version. Even with a few rush edges and the still relatively small library of games, this console is really well optimized for a comfortable gaming experience. It's super convenient, the screen size, the Joy-Con features, the battery life, it just makes you want to play, and it really helps you get the most out of your gaming session. If I haven't convinced you, that's totally fine. Everyone has to decide for themselves. Drop your thoughts about the Switch 2 in the comments, whether you already got it or are thinking about buying one. I'm off to make a new video for you guys. See you very soon. Bye!